Welcome. My name is Crystal, and I am the owner of Compassionate Decluttering LLC. Today, we're going to talk about how to make a bed. The first thing that you should do is to make sure that there's not something on the bed that doesn't belong there. Yep, time to get up. Shoo! Shoo! Next, you want to take all of the bedclothes off of the bed and put them aside. If you have a hook chest or something like that that you can put them on, you can do that. Some people don't want their things to be on the floor. If that's the case, put your bedclothes into a basket, and then that way they're not on the floor. If you don't care, just put them on the floor. I'm separating out the blanket from the top sheet. You'll see why in a moment. If you haven't changed your sheets in a while, maybe a week or two at the most, now is the time to change them. Now that you've removed things that didn't belong on the bed and you've taken all of the bed sheets off. It's only been a couple of days since we last changed the sheets, so I'm not going to change them at this time. Fix a corner that came up. For the top sheet, you know which part goes up by your head, because there's usually some kind of decorative seam. This goes right up by your head area. I have not yet mastered the skill of being able to flap the sheets and then tossing them woof over the bed. I'm still working on that skill, so you'll have to learn from someone else how to do that. Making sure that there is a roughly even amount to either side, unless you just want to steal all of the covers, in which case just make sure that more of the sheet goes to your side than the other. What I'm going to do to take up the extra slack of the sheet is I'm going to move it forward. Then when I get to the head of the bed, I'm going to fold it just a little bit. Some people like tucking in the sheet at the foot of the bed. I find it to be uncomfortable. If that's what you prefer, go ahead and do that. Go ahead and give it a smooth. Tuck, tuck. And that helps make the fold. If you are teaching your child how to make their bed, the fewer steps for them, the better. For a child learning how to do their bed, or somebody with ADHD learning how to make their bed, the smoothing part, that's not necessary. For someone who has difficulty along those lines, make it easier and just have the child or someone with ADHD just pull it up, take the top sheet, pull it up, and then fluff up the pillows. If you want it to look a little neater than that, then take a little bit more time to smooth things out. If your blanket doesn't have a pattern on it, then you're going to want to move the rectangle around to figure out which side's the long side and which side's the short side. But if it does have a pattern, then it's easier to figure out which side goes up towards the head of the bed. Now just put the pillows back in place. We don't always use all of the pillows that you see. Sometimes it just depends on what pain levels are that night. So different pillows might be used for different nights. I don't recommend keeping decorative pillows on the bed if you have trouble making your bed or if you are ADHD. Decorative pillows are too much extra work for someone with those difficulties. If you have an extra blanket, that can usually just be folded up and put at the bottom for the cat to come in and sleep on. There's no one right way to fold a blanket that goes on the bottom. I'm the only one who uses the extra blanket, so I just keep it on my side. If you want, you can stretch it out across the bed. It just depends on what you want to do with your bed. Thank you once again for watching. My name is Crystal, and I am the owner of Compassionate Decluttering LLC. Today we learned about how to make a bed. We had a couple of modifications for people with ADHD or children learning how to make their bed for the first time. If you like this video, please give it a like or subscribe. If you live in the Northern Virginia area, please go ahead and give me a call, text, or email so that way you can set up your appointment for your decluttering sessions. Make it a good day. Bye.